Last year, we not only came up the river from Chattanooga to Michigan, but we went back down the river. It was interesting because on the way up, the water was very high. On the way down, it was historically low. So we got to see both situations on the river. A lot of the loopers we met along the way had a lot of anxiety about getting on the rivers. So we decided to put this together to help with places to go, such as marinas, places to anchor, and just a little bit of advice along the way. This is Freebird, and we are Ed and Maureen. We hope you will enjoy following us as we travel on the Great Loop.
New Buffalo is a great last stop in Michigan before crossing back over to Indiana to head down the Illinois River. And the reason I say that is because it's a really nice town with a beautiful river that you can dinghy up and down. It's well protected, very friendly staff at the Marina. And most of all, there is a great little town, a great Italian restaurant, Brewster's, just all homemade food. It was awesome. And a very good store to do provisioning in, liquor store, grocery store, cut meats, really good grocery store within easy walking distance.
Hammond Marina, the place to go to get your boat filled up with gas or diesel before you head onto the river. They usually have very good prices. In our opinion, it's a one-night stay and then you're off.
After you leave Hammond Marina, 13 miles down the Calumet River is Marine Services Corporation. They have authorized Volvo diesel service there. We had a thermostat housing put in and I had the impellers changed there. I'm sure they could work on any diesel as well as any gas engines.
Leaving Hammond Marina, I usually set a few possibilities for anchorages because you never know what's going to happen with locks and travel. So first of all, I would head for Kankakee River. That's a really great place to throw an anchor in. There's a lady named Beth. She has a palm tree out in front of her house, just a little bit up the river on the right-hand side, and she loves to have people stay there. There's also a marina right as you turn into Kankakee River called Harborside Marina. That's total about 60 miles from Hammond Marina. If something happens and you don't think you'll make it that far, there is an anchorage at mile marker 281.5. It is not marked, but we stayed there on our way up waiting for Brandon Lock. So it's just south of Brandon Lock, mile marker 281.5, and that's about 42 miles from Hammond. Kankakee River to Heritage Harbor is only 31 miles. It took us 4.5 hours because there are 2 locks. You start out first thing in the morning with Dresden Lock. You can call the lock the night before and stay anchored until he is pretty much ready for you. The second lock is Marcel's Lock, which is just a couple of miles before Heritage Harbor. This marina loves loopers, and they make it the best possible stay. Jeremy will give a talk every night about the river, and they are happy to answer any questions. We stayed there on the way up and on the way down.
Heritage Harbor Marina to Lower Henry Island Anchorage is about 49 miles. We've included some charts and a detailed one showing the anchorage. As you head down the river, be careful to pass the island by quite a ways, as you can see in the detailed chart, to avoid a shoal area. We've seen people try to shortcut it and get stuck in the gravel.
We traveled Lower Henry to Bar Island in one long day, 107 miles. We had been gone from home for over 6 months and were ready to get home. I should say we were anxious to get to one of our favorite stops, Grafton. A lot of loopers go to Alton, and on the way up to Michigan, we tried to stop there. Our draft is 4 feet 9 inches, and Alton told us that the water was too low at that time for us to get in and be able to tie up. So we went to Grafton, and we were happy we did. It's a really fun town. I'll tell you more about that later in this video. We know most loopers need to travel at slower speeds, so the following are 2 ways for the next leg of the trip. The first choice is 2 anchorages. The second choice is a marina and then an anchorage. Sometimes weather will help you make the decision on how far you can travel in one day, or if you prefer being tied up safely in a marina. The first plan, which we will call Plan A, you will travel from Lower Henry Island to Quiver Island, both anchorages, approximately 72 miles. You will travel through Peoria Lake.
A little south of Peoria, you will arrive at the Peoria Lock. The images we've included here are from a time in the spring during high water when we were able to pass by the lock without going through it. Heading south on the Illinois River, the next landmark you will see is the coal-fired Peoria Power Plant. This is the kind of landmark that was very important in the days of paper charts.
The second day of Plan A, you will travel from Quiver Island to Bar Island. They are both anchorages, and it will take you about 35.5 miles. Plan B, your first day will be a shorter day, and you will travel to Ivy. That is 25.5 miles. That is the Illinois Valley Yacht Club. We have not stayed there, but we did hear that it's a very nice place to stay. Plan B, your second day, you will travel from Ivy to Bar Island. If this is too far because it is 81 miles, you can stop along the way at Quiver Island, which is 47 miles into the trip. Then the next day you would go from Quiver Island to Bar Island.
As you head down the Illinois River, one of the larger bodies of water you'll pass through is Upper Peoria Lake. This lake looks quite large at first, but it's really quite shallow, so you need to stay in a fairly narrow channel. And as you can see in this video, we had to share that channel with a fairly large barge on a windy day, which made for a little excitement as we passed.
Bar Island to Grafton is 85 miles. If you'd like to break this up, there is an anchorage called Willow at Willow Island, and that is about 50 to 55 miles. And then from there, you'd have another 30 miles to get to Grafton. Grafton is a really fun town. We had the best time there, both on the way up and on the way back. We stopped again. They call themselves the Key West of the Midwest, and there are all kinds of restaurants, a biker bar, barbecue that was a lot of fun, and there's an outdoor restaurant on the other end of town, all within walking distance with big yellow umbrellas all on the river. Right across from the marina is a winery and a brewery. Really nice place to go, and there's also a courtesy car available from the marina. The marina is very nice and accommodating. They have a little store, a restaurant above the store that has wonderful hamburgers. We just think this place is great. We use Navionics to plan our voyages. In this video, all the marinas and anchorage suggestions are ones we have personally stayed at. Happy travels, and feel free to ask any questions we might be able to help you with.